Trainiacs. So since meeting up with Coach Matt Dixon and the Purple Patch Pro Triathlon team down in Scottsdale, I have been doing a little bit of work with them. So I've been devouring, as I'm about to talk about nutrition, a lot of Matt Dixon's podcast, writing, blog posts, all of that stuff. And in reading his book, The Purple Patch Triathlete, there are nuances about race day nutrition that are similar but different to what I recommended in my race day nutrition series about a month ago. We gotta talk about that. So, Matt Dixon, head coach of Purple Patch Fitness, he wrote The Fast Track Triathlete, which I think is the most highly rated or highly recommended triathlon training book. Trying to multitask. The most highly rated and highly recommended triathlon training book on Amazon. You type in triathlon on Amazon and that book pops up. They have sold thousands of copies, and in the wee little world of triathlon, that's a lot. And I'm almost done the book right now, and I just passed the race day nutrition section, which agrees in large part with what I recommended a month ago. At the end of this video, I'll link to all that series of videos, so if you want to go back and watch and get the entire race day nutrition calculators and programs and downloads and all that stuff all for free, you can do that. But Matt Dixon has a couple of nuances about timing that he might not necessarily agree exactly with what I say, and the amount of nutrition that you take on that you need to apparently, as he puts it, adjust it because of some of the race day differences with training. It's very interesting. Let's do a bike workout first, shall we? Okay, then we'll talk about it. I just looked at the workout Coach Pat gave me and it's brutal. It's a good thing I've got the temperature just dialed right in. I've got it at 17 degrees Celsius, about 61 Fahrenheit. Nice and cool, so I can heat it up. Let's do it. Electrolytes, gels, and chews. Okay, so let's talk about some differences between what I recommended at triathlontaren.com/triathlon nutrition guide, best URL in the history of triathlon. Differences between that and Matt Dixon's approach. As far as electrolyte drinks go, I recommended doing a 5-minute rotation where every single 5 minutes you take a sip of a light electrolyte drink. Matt Dixon does agree that it should be a light electrolyte drink. Ideally, he specifically mentions SOS, Scratch, Osmo, Noon. But what he says is do it on every 10 minutes. Okay, not a big difference. Let's talk about gels, chews, bars. Number one, I recommend at triathlontaren.com/triathlon nutrition guide that you take your gels and chews and bars, all of your nutrition on a 30-minute cycle and just keep going like that throughout the course of a race. Endurance Tap, maple syrup, shout out to Canada, yo. Whereas Matt makes a couple of different suggestions. Number one is he recommends a 20-minute fueling schedule where in each fueling interval you're taking on less nutrition. And then where we also differ is I recommend that when you're training, you go and you figure out a nutrition schedule and you basically stick to that schedule in a race. Matt says, and I think that this is a really good point, that when you're in a race, you are pushing harder and you are often racing in climates that are hotter than where you are. So there's more blood at the surface of your skin trying to cool you off than there is when you're training. So it's taking blood away from your stomach, and because of the adrenaline that goes into the race, your digestive abilities is quite a bit lower. So instead of eating in the race exactly how you train, he recommends erring on the side of maybe a little bit less, like 5 to 10% less than how you ate when you train. I think very astute of you, Matt. And then the next difference is that where I say you just stick to a schedule of every half hour, you take 90 to 110 calories and you just go with that from 10 minutes into the bike all the way till the end of the race. He recommends front loading the bike a little bit higher than what you're going to end up taking on the run. I think this makes perfect sense because on the bike, you're not pushing as much. Your heart rate is probably about 10% lower. You're not sloshing your stomach around nearly as much. Whereas on the run, your digestive abilities are quite a bit more challenged, and to expect that you're going to be able to process the same amount of nutrition on the run as you do on the bike is going to be a little bit tough. So what's a girl to do, you might ask? Well, number one, go to triathlontaren.com/triathlon nutrition guide. And that's gonna give you a template of how many calories you need, when you need to take them, templates for a fueling schedule, the recommended products that I like. So, do you do it every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, every 20 minutes, every 30 minutes? Well, the bottom line is this, and this is what Matt Dixon and I definitely agree on, is that going into a race, you have to be practicing your nutrition at least in some regard. And whether you change that or not for a race depends on if you've tried it. So while you can change it a little bit for a race, you can change from 20 minutes to 30 minutes, you can drink every 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you really have to just try it leading into the race and see what works for you. And then if in training you start going and eating every 20 minutes and you find that you're burping a lot, probably not good to eat every 20 minutes. If you're going every 30 minutes and you're finding that you're feeling like a glut of stuff in your stomach, that's probably too much. Essentially, you just gotta go and train, you gotta go and try things, but those are some guidelines that you can use. Like I say, triathlontaren.com/triathlon nutrition guide, best URL in the business, or go and buy a Purple Patch book. I highly recommend it. They have a fantastic person helping them with their marketing right now. So here you go, Trainiacs. Race nutritions ahoy. Now I have to do a 25-minute run, and you better believe that I'm gonna be taking my nutrition every 5 minutes. So there.